understand it. You're that goddamn miserable. Just fucking kill yourself. Why is it you gotta like kill a bunch of people totally senseless?
Because it doesn't make any sense. Nobody does that. That's not real. That's why it's been several hours now. Where's all the footage? Are we to believe that the internet is just so good that anybody that uploads footage, it immediately gets taken down? Is that really what we're supposed to believe right now?
I think so. That's the general idea.
In all of this stuff, the one thing that you guys just don't understand is the person more likely to kill you than anyone else in your life is a cop. You're more likely to be killed by anyone by cops than anyone else in the world.
That's pretty fucked up.
I mean, but they're the ones that are allowed to walk around with guns and make decisions, make split decisions based on,
Is there something you can direct people to? Because
I'm sure you're going to have a hard time finding that stat. Sure, just look it up. You're 6 times more likely to be shot by a cop than like somebody in the streets or something. But the cops are the ones that are killing people more than anything else. More than anyone else. Yeah. You're more likely to be killed by a cop than any specific person. And these, you have, so 10 people shot in New York is not immediately a terrorist attack. Has all the hallmarks of a terrorist attack. But 10 people killed in Louisiana and New Orleans, now that's a terrorist attack. Because they did the same thing that the Trump supporter guy did a couple of years back. So that's all the hallmarks of a terrorist attack. I mean, think about it. This page is all about common sense. We're going to try to apply common sense to everything that we see, everything that we're given, and ask what actually, holds up and what common sense overrides and tells you is bullshit. And if you just think about it, how many times, how many people do you interact with on a daily basis, or that have guns and are looking to cause you problems? That's literally what cops are doing. They're going around looking to cause problems. Well, you didn't use your turn signal. Let me cause you problems.
Other people aren't causing problems.
You have a busted taillight. Ah,
You switched lanes too aggressively.
all right.
And that's the type of
so much of it is just that kind of superficial. It's we smell marijuana. We're gonna say we smell marijuana, so that gives us the right to do whatever we want now. Can you prove you smell marijuana? No need to. No way to. There's no, can't take a video and be like, yeah, I smell it. Like, that's not how that works. It's just your word against the blue. Like, it's your word against the revenue generators.
Yes.
And they generate revenue for the people who decide what ends up happening. So if you go to fight it, again, that's another revenue generator. Their job is to make money. That's why you don't see judges out there just helping people and, well, I'm going to look out for you this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do... No, it's not about helping people. It's about generating revenue. Who decides that X crime is worth X amount of years? Who makes that decision?
Good question.
How do we say that this kind of burglary is worth this amount of years, but this kind of burglary is worth this kind of years? And of course, it all matters to what kind of J attorney you can buy.
see that
Because
is
if you
an
can buy the
interesting
best
perspective.
J attorney, well, then the laws don't apply to you.
But they don't ever discuss. They discuss what the laws are going to be and the changes to the laws and
To some
those
degree. Well, they
different.
sort of tell you
No, they
what's
do, but
going
they
to
never
happen,
talk about
why it's going to
who
happen.
sets the sentences
Of
for a
course.
crime. We never hear about
Never.
that. How that occurs, who makes that decision, if it's a voting type.
But it's
We
the same
don't
thing
know.
as when did you last vote on how much money Israel gets each month? When was the last time you even heard that that was brought into the legislation and you were
Well, the
given
thing
a choice?
is, here's what happened. So other laws that get passed that we do hear about, those different things are set in the background of those laws
No, no, no. The
as
Israel stuff
little.
is its own thing. It's a bipartisan, it's all bipartisan legislation that has its own specific stuff. They don't mince words when it comes to Israel. Israel gets what it wants.
But I'm sure that
It's not anti-Semitic, dumbass.
I'm sure
Don't
that
use
we
that
don't
that word
hear those
incorrectly.
particulars.
I'm offended by the anti-Semitic comment
There's a
because
lot of things that pass that we don't hear about because they're the background stuff to the bigger stuff.
right, but the anti-Semitic thing is wrong. Semitic refers to all of the people in the region, Palestinians, Syrians, Yemen, the Lebanese, the people of Yemen, you know, the Southis or the Houthis, I mean, all those people, unfortunately, including the Jays, because the Jays think they own everything. So they think they own the word Semitism or Semitic too. Again, they don't. White people, brown people, black people, all of the people of that region are Semitic. So when you say anti Semitic, that's a really racist, shitty thing to say. Me, I'm very proud of my anti Semitism, right? My anti Semitism is that I oppose Semitism, which is J superiority. It's a policy or predisposition favorable to the Jays. And I don't support that in any way whatsoever. They're the worst people in the world, and they definitely don't deserve any sort of favor. This is the absolute worst. I mean, when you look at just the symbols, look at the badge, look at all that shit. You know, it's just their symbolism. And they're the ones that pass the legislation. They're the ones that are pushing everything through. When was the last time anybody had a choice on whether we give Israel $3.8 billion a year to murder people or the at least $18 billion that they've been given since October of 2023 last year? Did you guys have any say on that? Look up BlackRock. They only hire J people. You're definitely speaking facts. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm sure they only hire the J's at the top. They probably have low-ranking cleaning people and shit like that from certain, from ethnicities. Yeah, BlackRock's one of those. I haven't even gotten into BlackRock yet. That's the thing. BlackRock's too mainstream for me to really focus on it because it's like it's so obvious.
If they put it out there and they try to drown the market with it, that means that it's a distraction for something else.
Yeah, this person's making a great point though, that they only hire the Jays. So that's he's the bigger situation is exactly still being exposed. Notice how David Yates has nothing to say, right? He's outsmarted right off the bat because he was dumb enough to use the wrong word. And I'm telling you, they are dumb. They don't control the world because they're smarter than us. They control the world because they're more ruthless than we are. They're the ones that are willing to for every balloon that comes over that wall, we'll take a building of theirs down. Women and children alike, doesn't matter. If we knock down enough buildings, they'll get the message. Like, this is who we're talking about. Even if October 7th was real, which it's not, even if there was around 1,100 people killed in Israel, not 1,100 Israelis, 1,100 people killed in Israel, even if that was fucking dead true, it still wouldn't justify the response. 200,000 plus people either killed or on their way to being killed through starvation and all sorts of other horrendous measures. Understand, like, this is real serious here. This is real serious. And like she was saying, you know, who's the ones that who are the ones that decide those things? Who are the ones that decide how long a sentence should be?
We're never taught about that, like even in school, how the sentencing process works.
I have no idea. Literally none. I've never heard. I've never stumbled into it.
Paid attention to because it's kind of fascinating how they would just randomly
arbitrarily, right? Well, and it's like an arbitrary base, right? Because the J judges and the J prosecutions and all that, they can work it out so that, yeah, it's 20 years for this, but we're gonna give you 14, or, you know, how do they just?
Then there's that.
How do they figure that shit out? You know, these are all like this is the funny part about the truther thing. I always feel like I'm talking about shit that it shouldn't matter what side you lean. You know, right. You should be interested in these things, these questions.
They're basic human rights most of the time.
Right. Like these horrible Jays, you're all under their control. We are all subjugated by them. And it's 100% like, it's bullshit. That's the crazy part. If it wasn't bullshit, they would allow, you know, they would encourage the conversation. But it's literally like the whole chosen aesthetic, the whole idea that they're chosen by God and blah blah blah. That's just all bullshit. It's really fucking crazy how just insane it all is. It's bullshit.
It's hard to see what she is.
You know, and for anyone to like again, if I'm wrong, well then they should come in and be like, no, man, you're mistaken. We don't like that people say these things because they're wrong. Don't know how these rumors got started, but we really want to put an end to it. It's 2025. It's the year of honesty. Yeah. I'm a dumb J. I mean, again, I don't even understand. Like, what is that supposed to do? Even if it was true, it would strengthen my argument, right? Like if I actually was a dumb J and saying these things, it would make my argument even stronger. It's not the case, you know. I'm don't wish it was. I'm glad it's not because they're disgusting, awful people. But like this whole dumb attempt at what are you trying to like insult me or like I don't even get it. But I do get it. As always, it's what stupid does. Stupid does this kind of shit when stupid doesn't have anything else to say. There's no way around it. Making you a J. Like, look at how stupid this person is. Look at how stupid that person is. Right? Like, that's not... Making you a J doesn't give you special... No, that's not what I said, you dumbass. You're just, like, answering a different thing. That's not what was said. I'm saying that if I was one of these disgusting pieces of shit, I was saying these things, then there wouldn't be the... Oh, you know, that's anti-this and blah. All the excuses that they usually hide behind, they wouldn't be able to hide behind them because, you know, I'd be one of them. and it would be making what I say have more impact because I'd be one of them. You dumb, dumb person. Ugh. I really couldn't care less if you think this would help or that would help. Notice how I said I couldn't care less too? Everybody loves to get that one wrong. It's couldn't care less. I could care less. Well, then it's not that bad, is it? What? People are stupid, man. These Jays are the worst. They are the worst. Just, again, just make it make sense. I've been doing this and saying this stuff for years now. They never come in to try to debunk or anything. There's a lot of them that come in and admit to being piece of shit Jays, right? But then when it comes to like, okay, well, here, let's have the conversation then. They have nothing. There's no way you can, make my arguments not work, so you don't even try. You just hide behind, in my mind, telling stuff. Like every time somebody says something negative and doesn't actually address anything being said, or does it in that stupid way where they like answer their own argument, not what I'm saying, it's strengthening my argument. It's like that whole thing where if you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. That's not true. If you don't stand for something, you stand for all of those. Like if you don't stand against the pedos, you're standing for them. If you're not openly condemning and standing against the pedos, the Jays, whatever it may be, the J pedos, you're actually supporting them. And that's what people need to understand. Like all these dumbass comments that aren't like, hey, how can we make this better? How can we end these pedos? How can we stop the J enslavement? What can we do to make it like anything other than that is supporting those things. And I get it. A lot of you are too stupid to actually have the conversation because you don't actually know anything other than football scores or, Trump's latest bullshit, whatever. But if you're any bit past that, you can see like this is just stupid. This is stupid. Facts, I just subscribed. I can't turn away. You legit are really interesting to hear. I mean, that's, again, it wouldn't matter whether you agreed with these things or not. Like I'm very adamantly against religion. All forms. And if you support your religion, I think you're part of the problem. However, if you go look, I can put that shit on the back burner because the reality is, first and foremost, we need to cut these Jays off. We shouldn't be giving them all our money and we shouldn't be protecting their horrendous behavior. And two, we need to start, why can random people on YouTube find multiple people per day to meet with them so they get exposed as pedos, but the government can't do it? Are we out of our fucking minds here? Are we really that stupid? People, I just it's weird too, like the Trump dumbass, like the whole shootings and all that shit. None of that shit happened in the last 4 years. I mean, it did, but not nearly as much as it's happening already. 2025. Like this is a result of you put a stupid racist in power, and you're gonna get a bunch of stupidity that comes from it. I think we really need to understand, like, you are way more likely to be killed by a cop than anyone else. As they're going to start really trying to like manipulate and take freedoms away and do all these crazy shit. Understand that they're the ones that are killing people more than anyone else. More than any one particular anything, you know. You can't, I mean, obviously cancers and car crashes and shit like that. Yes, that's going to kill more. But I'm saying there's not another human being that poses more of a threat to you than the police do. You know, you can be scared of the terrorists, especially if you're Palestinian or you're in the Middle East and you're scared of the Israeli terrorists, that absolutely makes sense. But if you're here in the United States, you literally have never been in danger from terrorists. 9/11 was a completely manufactured event. It was Mossad did it. It's been proven. There's a whole dancing Israelis, you know, dancing Israelis, like I don't know what narrative. There's a whole narrative that involves a group of Israeli soldiers, Mossad agents, who were caught filming both towers being hit. They were there filming the first tower being hit. Prior knowledge, just like so many show up to work that day. Just like Larry Silverstein, who just happened to have a dentist appointment that day or a doctor's appointment that day that his wife had been bothering him, bugging him to go do, and finally he did it instead of having his normal breakfast on the 90th floor like he did every other day. You know? It's like the notion that our culture would shame you into not asking questions. It's not like our culture says, okay, is this what you think? You know, because if you think that way, you're wrong, and let's explain. Like that's how I approach my life. That's how I approach these feeds. That's how all of it, you know. If you think you're right, then by all means, let's hear what you have to say. I don't care if I don't agree with you or not. I want to hear what arguments you make. Maybe you're going to say something new. Maybe you'll change my mind. I don't know. But in our system, in our society, the response is not go ahead, ask away. Let me squash any concerns or misconceptions you may have. It doesn't work that way. You're told you're a bad guy. I mean, how many videos can you find online where police have the opportunity to really show how great how great police are? So some random person decides they're going to film the police while they're doing a traffic stop. And the cop has the opportunity to show the world how wonderful he is. Yeah, traffic stop, but it doesn't have to be crazy, and we're not all bad, and yada, yada, yada. Here, yeah, absolutely, Phil. I want the world to see what a good cop does. And it never works that way. The cops are never, they always flip out about it. The cops are these just insane, power-hungry psychopaths. And instead of us having like this honest conversation about it, not saying, oh, you can't say that because that's not patriotic or that might hurt somebody's feelings. Whatever it may be, we just say, okay, let's have the honest conversation. Is there clearly a big problem with racism in the police? Fuck yeah, there is. Fuck yeah, there is. I don't know a single person of color. Like, I don't know anybody who doesn't think that way. At the same time, especially young black men, stop running from cops. If you're gonna live that I'm a gangster, tough guy persona, you can't be like all upset about doing a little couple hours in the clink because you got something on you shouldn't, or, a week or two or whatever, because, you know, you might have some weed or something on you. You're a tough guy. That's your personality. You wanted to be that way. If you run away from some little dick, short motherfucking white dude who's just looking for a reason to shoot you, you're an idiot. They're looking for reasons to shoot you. Don't give them that. Black people need to stop running from cops. They're going to shoot you. That's what they want to do. Like I say, you are way more likely to be killed by a cop than anybody else. And any notion of like terrorism and all, it's all manufactured. It's all bullshit. If you're in the United States, you've never been in danger from terrorists. You're more likely to hit the lottery than you are to get it killed by a terrorist. It's all fake. It's fake bullshit. Every time something happens, terrorist wise, I don't know the exact number. Let's say 30. There have been 30 times where the TSA has busted somebody trying to do something at the airport, blah, 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 blah. There have been 33 times that somebody's been busted doing that. Well, the 30 times that the TSA does it, it's all manufactured. Those people have been fed by the FBI. They're this, they're that. They're never homegrown terrorists, just regular people. The 3 times that somebody's gotten up in the plane and they weren't involved with the FBI, or they weren't homegrown, or they were actual, like, real terrorists, we stopped them. Goyim, regular people stopped them. The TSA doesn't do shit. It's just there to violate you. Go to the airport used to be a thing. Every time my grandmother would go on a trip, my grandparents would go on a trip, the family would all go to see them off, and we, it would be like this thing, and we'd all go to the airport and we'd watch the planes leave, and that was a thing that people used to do. In no way, shape, or form has we ever been in danger because of, any realistic bullshit involving the airports. And this just requires an honest conversation, right? So when it comes to the 9/11 stuff, if you haven't looked at it, then you have to honestly step back and go, you know what? I haven't, I barely remember it, when it happened, and that's pretty much all I've ever done, and I've had a really negative attitude towards anybody that said anything about it since. So I never actually looked into any of the arguments. You have to be honest about that. Well, honestly, I trust my government implicitly, and whatever they tell me, I believe. So they said it was this, so I believe that. You have to be honest. If that's how you look at it, that's fine. But that's you can't go into the conversation like you're some sort of well-informed expert, blah, blah, blah. If you only know one side, that's that. You only know one side. And this is the stuff that we need to really be looking at and talking about, because you can't know all of the facts that we've been allowed to know and still believe 9/11 was what it was. And of course, 9/11, like, the crazy part is the New York stuff is the cover-up. And you know that because of what's come from it. The whole 9/11 truth movement is all about, 2 planes can't take down 3 buildings, Tower 7. Everything that possibly talks about 9/11 tries to get you to talk about Tower 7. Almost nothing talks about the Pentagon. And the Pentagon is the big shit. That's the big story. The fact that Rumsfeld the night before announces that they've misplaced $2.3 trillion. And then the next day, the part of the building that was blowed up happened to be the place that was doing the investigation into that $2.3 trillion, and it disappeared. That was that. We didn't care about the 2.3 trillion anymore. We were all America, yellow ribbons, and all sorts of. Okay. Nate, that's not how it works, dude. So what? Then go watch your video or play on the phone. You're not allowed to play. Nathan. Nick, please be quiet. Nick, will you please be quiet? Nathan, stop what you're doing.
He did, but he exited out of the game just before he does.
Okay, so you have given Nick an extra hour of whatever he wants to do.
Dad, no.
No,
you. I didn't exit out of the game.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You always do.
No, I didn't. Dad,
so he's lying.
So I went out of the game.
Couldn't you have just? Let me ask you this: in those situations, aren't you just supposed to put the controller down and let Nick do what he wants to do?
No, you didn't. Yes, I did.
Stop.
Hold on.
So you didn't exit out of the game at all?
No. No. Then why did it get X'd out?
Then how did it exit out?
Because I clicked home. I didn't do anything else. I clicked. Wait.
Stop talking, Nick.
I clicked home to see what the time it is, and then Nick exited out of the game. Yes,
Nathan.
He said, I don't care now. You're not playing anymore.
Nathan.
He doesn't get an hour. I didn't
Nathan,
use it.
You did.
No, I didn't. I'm looking at you standing eyes without smiling.
So that doesn't mean anything.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I didn't exit out.
So you did. It did because it worked out that way, right?
He did it, but I was.
How did he do it?
He clicked XA when we were out because he was trying to do a move. Because I clicked home.
So you clicked home, and he just happened to click the two buttons to make it exit out. Nathan, come on.
I'm not joking around. I was
Nathan.
just trying to check the time because I don't.
Nathan, so at the exact moment that you were just checking the time, he happens to click the only two buttons in order to make it exit out, and looks like you did it.
Yeah, no. He even admits that he did it. He said, okay, I did it. Now you're not playing anymore.
Okay, wait. That's not what he said.
This is the second time you did it. No, I didn't.
Stop arguing. So how did that happen? You're telling me that just happened to happen?
Yes.
How?
The first time, it was Nick. The second time, I didn't do anything. I didn't.
So Nick, that's how that worked?
What?
That's how that worked?
What works?
He hit home to check the time, and at the exact moment he hit home to check the time, you clicked X, then A.
No. Yes. He clicked X, but because he knew I was
Stop yelling.
Because he knew I was about to click the game, so he clicked X, and then I clicked A on accident.
Nathan, that sounds like that makes more sense. But the fact that you clicked A on accident, that's on you, dude.
I didn't click. I clicked A when he clicked X because he knew I wanted it. Because he
Okay,
exited out of the game.
okay,
I had to
wait.
click A to get back into the game.
Now you're switching your story.
You're changing it.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Nick.
After he checked the time, he clicked X, and then I accidentally clicked A.
Okay, you accidentally clicked A. That's on you, man.
Still,
that's on you. Okay, hey, wait. It's over. So now there's no more fighting.
I know, but
There's no extra hour. There's no extra hour.
Why? He did it
You
again.
clicked the button.
No, that was the first time. He did it a second time. After he did Womp Womp, I'm still gonna play. He clicked XA real fast.
Okay, so how did it end the second time, Nathan?
There wasn't a second time.
What do you mean? It just happened a second time. You already said it happened a second time.
I said the second time I didn't do anything. That's Nick saying there's a second time, and I know Nick said.
You said womp womp and did it anyway.
No, I didn't. I said womp womp. I'm still playing. I didn't.
Right.
XA.
Right. And then when I said to stop, you clicked it.
No, I didn't. I said womp womp. I'm still playing, and then Nick went to.
And then you just said, "Oh, okay," and put the controller down.
No, I went to talk to you.
Right. And put the controller down because it couldn't have happened unless you clicked the buttons, right? What are you looking at the phone for? So how did it happen?
It didn't.
So it didn't happen at all. He didn't. You guys weren't in the middle of a game that just you exited out of.
No.
So then he's lying.
Yes.
So he should get in trouble.
To get me in more trouble.
So he should get in trouble.
Yes.
You're gonna stand by that.
Yes. He's lying to get me in more trouble.
Okay, so Nick, you're lying to get him in more trouble.
He wants the extra hour. He did it the second time, and he clicked XA because he was mad because he's saying I'm being a spaz for not letting him play. What?
Right, that sounds believable, but you're saying stop looking at the phone, Nathan. That sounds believable because you know why? Because you do that, and you've done it multiple times, right?
Yes, but I did not.
But this time you didn't, even though it seems like you did.
I didn't do it.
So then how did it happen?
It didn't.
It did happen, dude. He's literally, like, you guys were in the middle of a game. He came to say something. He said, "Dad, he won't stop doing this." And then you were still playing when that happened, right?
No.
You weren't in the middle of a game when he came and said, "Nathan's saying he's going to keep playing."
We weren't in the middle of the game. We just finished the match. Nick just won. He was using mini gunner. I was using Greninja.
Okay, so it was already over.
Yeah. And then when Nick said, "I don't want to play with you anymore," I said, "Womp womp, I'm still playing."
And then what happened?
Then he went to tell you. Nothing else happened. No, you exited. I said.
Okay, but wait, Nick, were you? Was it already all done? You didn't.
Yeah,
You didn't.
I X'd out. And then
Did you stop? Let me finish asking a question. Did you lose anything by him exiting out, or was it already all done?
The match was already over.
Okay.
I won because he said I
Okay,
was
stop.
playing.
I didn't ask for all that.
Okay.
But I know that's how you like to do it, where you get to say your little thing, you know?
Yes, then.
So it was already done and nothing was lost or anything, right?
No, but then after
Okay,
the fact,
okay.
after
I understand. I'm not following you here. So after the fact, there's nothing was lost. He pushed the button and it exited, but nothing was
and
lost.
then the second time when I
No, we are talking about the second time
I
right now.
know. That's what I'm talking about. But you're not letting me just said but
Stop.
the second time.
Stop. No, you stop.
Why?
You're
The second time he X'd out when I was about to start a match.
okay.
No.
It wasn't like in the middle of something though, right?
Right.
Well, that was your initial argument.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Shush.
No, stop talking to him like that. I'm really trying to give you guys the benefit of the doubt here and let you have a real life sort of conversation here. But you're being a real jerk about things.
Fine.
And you just got caught lying.
I was not lying.
Nick.
He stop.
Okay, I've told you to stop that now like 5 times. So now you're definitely done. Okay, this conversation's done. You lose an extra half hour now. Because of this lying and because
He's talking when we're trying to talk.
no, he's interjecting and even if he is, whose job is it to stop him?
But you're not saying anything.
Even
How
if
do you know
he
he wasn't about to?
stop talking, please.
Sorry, Dad.
Even if he was, you're jumping in as soon as he says a sound.
Yes, then.
So you lose an extra half hour.
Fine. Well, then it's my turn. Cool. Let me see the phone. Wait. Does that mean I get extra time? Because he's. Dad,
No, then if it's over, if he's
10 minutes left.
if he has 10 minutes left, then you get extra 20 minutes. Jesus. Wow, that's fun. Oh. And it's dumb because it's video games. So, a lot of you would just be like, I say this, and blah, 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 blah. and then just sort of dismiss. But even if it is video games, it's still important to them. And there is more going on than just the video games. There are dynamics at play. And those dynamics need to be addressed. And so you end up in these dumb arguments about nothing, but, you know, you have to get them to see. And it's difficult. It's not like it's, you know, not only are we little savages when we're born, but we're surrounded by a society that encourages that savagery. And so, you know, they're surrounded by a bunch of parents who don't, or kids whose parents don't talk to them, kids whose parents spank them, kids whose parents, you know, do things differently. So there's all these negative influences everywhere. And, you know, of course, it's not like I had this. You know, I was spanked all the fucking time. I was raised by an alcoholic single mother who was attractive and liked to party. And you know, had an attractive father who also enjoyed the party. Not to the degree that the mother did, but you know, my mom came out of McCarthyism. Kids got spanked with wooden spoons. My dad came out of belts and switches, you know, because black people were different. But that wasn't how, you know, it wasn't like, all right, you have a valid point. Let's hear your point of view. Your point of view might be wrong. And if we can address what your point of view is wrong about, then we can move forward. But you know, do it because I say so. Yes, there are plenty of times for that, no doubt, because you have to learn that as well. Right? You have to learn that there's going to be bosses, there's going to be, you know, situations with cops, whatever, where you have to listen to unreasonable shit if you want to maintain the position you're in, whether it's freedom or it's the job you have. But it's not always like that. You know what? Let's I'm sure Jason wants all sorts of orange balls in his mouth, which is weird because, you know, Trump hates you people. Like he's not a man fan. But let's go with pedophiles kill yourself, and we'll give it another shot here in a second.